All right, guys, welcome to I Words and Upwards, a unexpected, surprising podcast today with my good old friend Alex. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, it's a very impromptu and last second kind of a thing, but we got something pretty cool to talk about.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, first of all, cheers.
Yes.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. So before we get into the main topic of the conversation, what do you do in Queenstown?
So I work for the civil aviation government sector of insecurity and
Sector of insecurity.
insecurity.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that so many people come to Queenstown and they have such a good time, and then I make sure that they leave with that bad taste in their mouth.
So you're the one torturing us at the airports.
That's right, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing that. Because,
You're welcome.
Yeah. Keeping us safe up in the skies.
Yeah.
Now, literally yesterday, you texted me.
Yeah. Yesterday morning.
Yeah. And do you want to, in a nutshell, just to start us off, tell us what actually happened?
Yeah. So just an average day goes by. A couple of thousand people. You don't really look at their faces, but a colleague of mine says, "Hey, that kind of looks a little bit like a famous guy down there." And I, being me, decided to be a little bit nosy. Went up and had a chat to see who it was, and it's none other than Mr. Ben Foster,
Aussie,
the old Fozzie. Yeah.
So,
and to be fair, like we say, he's old Ben Foster, but he actually looks like young. Like, he looks in such good shape for a guy who's retired now.
So you said you didn't recognize him at first, yeah?
No, like when you see someone's face and you're like, no, didn't quite get it. But then, as soon as a colleague said the name, that was it. I was put two and two together, and I was straight down there for a chat. And of course, this starstruck in between as well, because it's not often you get to see guys that you've been paying so much attention to over the past few years, and seeing how they've just brought you so much like joy of their abilities, in which he has. Like it's unreal to have met someone on that caliber. Yeah.
That Notts County game is still probably, like retrospectively now, I think it's the best ever football game and football emotions that I ever felt in my life.
Yeah.
And okay, so let's go methodically through this. So you approached him.
Yep.
What did you guys talk about? Because we know that they are in Wellington, which is just across the Cook Strait.
That's right.
The south of the North Island. And did you ask him why he was in Queenstown? Because they're playing the game tonight.
Yes. So straight off the bat, I met him under good pretenses. I wasn't having to search his bag or anything like that, because that would have gone down like a lead balloon. So it was all good to start off with. And I asked him, you just down here for a visit? And which obviously he was. I knew he wasn't playing anymore, so I just said, "Are you touring with the guys? What are your plans? Are you going back up to Wellington?" And he said, "Yeah, like I've just decided to come down for a few days down to beautiful Queenstown, have a wee look." And he was with a few guys, nobody that I knew, so I don't think he was with any players, because obviously they would have been getting ready for tonight's game.
Was Tubes with him? The guy who does the podcasts with him?
I didn't recognize him.
No.
Okay. There was a younger guy who looked like he might be.
The
family,
guy.
Maybe. So. Yeah, and then it just kind of started from there. And whether he actually got his flight on time, I don't know, because I chewed his ear off. But I just had to ask all those questions that I've been burning to ask him. And of course, we really did touch a lot on his podcasts. Of course, on his career at Wrexham, and of course that awesome penalty save against Notts County. But that's in a nutshell. Let's unpack that.
Let's walk through that. So can you tell us a little bit more with sort of what did you guys actually talk about? Did you find out anything sort of extra interesting about what you wanted to know, or some details that you didn't know before?
Yes, so we just talked a little bit about like where he is in life, because I think that's important, not to like just talk football, but like actually get to know about the guy himself, because he's a human being at the end of the day. It's not just about Wrexham; it's about the people that come and go, right? And he is a guy that has got such a big personality, and the fact that he had time. Well, whether he had time or not, I'm hoping he had time. But
he seemed happy, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he stuck around for a chat, which was great. And the most important bit was that he enlightened me about where he was in life and how he was just happy that he was retired now. So like that was the big thing that he.
So you actually asked him like, are you going to be playing again, or
Yeah,
do you do any charity games, or what did you say?
So I asked him. I says, "Are you going to be playing anymore?" And he said, "Well, no, not on a big level." So I think we joked about Masters, but apart from that, he did tell me he's nursing an injury. But apart from that, he's happily being fully retired and can't wait to get back out on the golf course. Were the words?
What kind of injury?
So he pointed at his shoulder. So I didn't ask specifics.
Golf injury.
Golf injury, which led to a couple of other funny conversations about like these new golf clubs that he doesn't need to swing anymore. But he said I'd rather just wait until I'm fit and healthy to get back out on the golf course.
You said those ones where you like load like almost like a round, and then it shoots the ball.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Ben is going to go down to that low.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, he's not that old.
Okay. What was after?
Yeah, so then of course we talked a little bit about I guess Ryan and Rob and Wrexham. I didn't want to kind of go too much into making it not about him, because I was just so happy to meet one of my heroes, who I've followed so closely in the past few years. So we just talked about I just said about touring with the guys, and I said, oh, it's so cool that that you get to you come over here and you enjoy the places that they go. I asked him what he thought so far about the league. We'll say the pre-league, sorry, not the league, because now they're in the championship, right, which is obviously going to be pretty tough, but we'll get onto that later. But look, I was saying about the A-League. It says, well, what are your thoughts? Says you see kind of anyone standing out that's do you think that it's an upcoming league into the world and that? And there was a little bit of talk about that. And he says he's really impressed. He says the Australian league is
we're right by Alex's place of work, so that's
gonna get noisy.
Yeah, that's gonna get noisy. Okay. Yeah. Beer time.
Intermission. All right, and we're back. Hope you enjoyed the advert. No, look, great guy to stand and have a yarn with. I wish I could have just said, hey, look, let's go and get a couple of beers, and because I really wanted to unpack everything he had to say. But
did you ask him about Rob and Ryan, like specifically?
I just said, but the good guys and that, and he says, oh yeah, it's actually they're really down to earth, and it's not like what you see in the Welcome to Wrexham and all that kind of stuff. It is all about just the real people, and the fact that he was just so willingly to take the time to do it, because we get a lot of people that come through that just don't want to talk to you about it.
Interesting. Like, we haven't spoken much about it. It's just I told Alex, like, stop telling me about all this, and we will discuss it during the podcast. I don't know if you watched the our latest Hours and Upwards, when me and Ruby were talking about Welcome to Wrexham, because it ended a few weeks back.
Okay.
And I said a few things with regards to, like, to me, the actual show, the documentary, stopped being a documentary. Like, if I was to watch this latest season, to start with, I probably would not be following the team, because that first season was really raw. It was nice. It was like down to earth. It was a real dressing room, real people, real players. Now it's all like it's polished PR, low pop. And like, there is a lot of, like, they pull on that sort of Kardashian style kind of emotional strings, and it just looks so like I didn't really enjoy that last season, actually.
Wait a minute. Okay.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the sound. It's just there you go. So I like it. It's not quite to my liking, to be honest, what they're doing over the last couple of seasons. They just turn it into a sort of typical American, like, soap opera kind of a
well, it's going to happen.
Yep.
Like, not to say that it's on Disney Plus, but it's a part of it. Like, and not to delve too much into that, but they need content. They need to add things to it. Like every season, as I know a lot of you will definitely be able to to find something in common what I'm saying from what you've watched. But you can definitely see that as Ivan was saying, it does start something completely unusual from what like a lot of people, especially in Americans, and that when they see something to do with the sport, which I guess is a new upcoming thing in America. I definitely think that they would have shocked a lot of fans into seeing something which was brilliant in my mind, because not polished. That's right. Yeah. And of course, not to say Hollywood, at the end of it, but unfortunately, everything kind of goes that way because, I think we've got to.
They need to make money.
Well, that's what we need to accept, right?
Yeah. They
need to keep their fans. They need to keep that revenue going. And how do you do that? Like, what kind of content do you kind of add where you're not just focusing on the team anymore? Like, they started talking about the community and stuff, which is brilliant. Now I can relate to that. My family, they're around Wrexham, about 40 minutes away, a town called Burnley, which you'll know because they've just got promoted into the Premier League, which makes me want to focus more on Wrexham because I love the Championship.
Because in a year they'll be playing them again because Burnley's going to come down again. I hope not. I hope they're going to stay.
Well, I think if we do, we will. So I say we, I'm an avid Burnley follower. I wouldn't call myself a supporter. Like, I do have friends who are, like through and through, of course.
You studied there.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, like I know the area. I've been to multiple games at Turf Moor, and I love the fan base, the team, the club, everything. It's got a very similar feel to Wrexham to it. That's when I initially first watched the show. Yeah. Then that's kind of what Ivan and I kind of got discussing about. So, yeah.
Okay, carry on about Ben.
I know, yeah. So, going to definitely get sidetracked here.
Rob and Ryan spoke about them. Did you talk to him about the present team? Like, what's going on the team right now? Because he will be in the know about pretty much everything. Have you guys spoken about the present situation on the team?
The only thing that we actually discussed was about Ollie Rathbone and his current injury. Yeah. So of course, it's like I haven't followed too much towards the end of last season, kind of knowing where things sit, but I have obviously had a look at like transfers and the rest of it, which of course we'll get into later. But I think the biggest thing what we kind of really discussed there was about like how the feelers. Like, what do you reckon? Like, do they stand a chance inside the championship? Like, well, of course, I was asking how Ollie's doing. Is he, because he was in hospital in Australia, which I believe is
what did he say about Ollie?
So he kept it kind of close. He didn't really say much. So I wasn't going to really press on too much because obviously it's not my place to ask.
I get it. But can we expect him to be ready by the start of the season, or?
I think if it was something serious, he would have said. He would have said, like,
So it's not too bad.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
I can't. My feel from it is he's probably going to miss maybe the second game of the championship, but after that, I reckon he'll be good to go.
Okay.
It doesn't look too serious, and if it ever is, they generally straight away in the media will tell you. Like, I don't think they can keep that kind of stuff. If you look at any kind of, was it in the Bayern Munich game and in the Club World Cup? Like, well, that was kind of obvious to see when the guy's foot's going the wrong way. We know that he's going to miss the rest of the season. But there was the reports that his ankle was swollen, but that was about it. So fingers crossed to Ollie that he is.
Do you remember when I played hockey on the broken ankle?
Yeah.
For like a couple of months. So yeah, you can do a lot of things on a broken ankle.
A lot of things on a broken ankle. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again,
the hardy guys.
Yeah. Everybody rolled an ankle in their life, I reckon.
I believe so.
So yeah, it's not the end of the world. Okay. So spoke about Ollie. Did you mention anything about his sort of podcast and what Ben Foster is doing nowadays?
Yeah, so I did say, well, that was kind of like the initial thing that we kind of kicked off the conversation about was how much I loved his podcast, because he's a loose unit to describe him to a T.
Yeah.
If you've seen any podcast from Ben Foster, that you'll see his personality.
He's a character.
He is a character. and that's kind of, I was just saying how much entertainment he found in kind of doing that. So I praised him on that, and so of course Ivan, through Iwards and Upwards and everything else that Ivan's done, it's just brilliant to kind of relate to knowing how much these guys can bring to viewers' enjoyment. Really,
that's true.
So we didn't talk too much about his content, more about his love for golf, which I thought I could relate to as well. And of course, that was one thing that kind of tied in about the area, right? Because Queenstown's renowned for having beautiful golf courses.
Check this behind us. Yeah, there is a golf course actually right there, and there is one right behind us over there. Well, we played in our town, so which is like that way.
Yep.
Yeah, and there is one right by the airport, like literally where the planes are. Like there is like you throw a stick, it lands on the golf course.
They actually have signs to say, "Please don't hit the airplanes with golf balls." It's that close.
Exactly.
That close. Yeah. But for you guys that know Ben Foster, he is an
avid golfer.
So I guess a bit of the conversation was about whether he had. Well, that's when I found out about his injury, as I said before. But I asked him, "Will you be back? Like, do you think that you'd like to come play the courses here?" And he says, "I didn't really check them out, but he says from what I saw, it was definitely on his bucket list."
Yeah.
And,
hello, Will. How are you doing, buddy? I am not gonna go and see Wrexham play. Unfortunately, I'm in the middle of my skipper's course, so I'm just here for a short time, and then I'm back to the town where I'm doing my commercial skipper's course. So unfortunately won't be able to see Wrexham play, but we will watch it hopefully tonight on the telly with Alex.
Yep.
And who knows, maybe we'll do another little podcast, just talk about what we see.
Absolutely, yeah.
However, I must say that from what I watched, like it's amazing, like it's a money maker, huge money maker.
Right.
Thousands, like was like 40,000 people at a game.
Yep.
In Sydney, and just about that much in Melbourne. A lot of money was made. A lot of kits were sold. Great PR. Level of competition, I don't want to get into it because actually A-League, guys, it's like National League, League 2 kind of level at best.
Yeah,
it's not great. So, but as a promotional tour, it's amazing. The level of play, it's look, preseason. There's no point talking about the actual level. It's like they are running around. It's a training session in a nutshell with audience.
Yeah.
All they care about is physical load, aerobical output, and literally preparing the team for the rigors and endurance of the regular season. So I'm not too fussed about it. I would love to go and meet players and talk to them. That would be great. But unfortunately, this is just, in my case, it's the perfect example of the, what's that law? Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law.
Yeah,
oh, yes.
yeah. So can't go. But we'll do this.
In your career. Yeah.
Well, there is a business that I need to focus on, so starting it soon, hopefully. So I need to get the commercial license out of the way. At the same time, a lot of people are worried about Wrexham signing players late. I say, like I said before, like this year, it's all about surviving. If they do better than that, great, but just focus on staying alive. Give Parky everybody you can, because he needs every single capability at his disposal. Is the style of play going to change? Absolutely not. It's going to stay the same. It's going to be very defensive. It's going to be good old hoofball. So it will be still, my eyes will be bleeding every time I watch the screen. And unfortunately, from what I'm seeing right now, there is no like usually as a person who coached football, who studied football over years, you can see when there is a new system being worked. You can see certain elements of body positioning of the players, the way they sometimes take a bit of time to reiterate certain installments in their heads and then play the ball accordingly. From what I have seen, there is no signs of a new system. They play it instinctively. They winging it. So when players now coming in late, it's not a problem because there is not much to learn, to be honest. They will be just set up in the defensive shape back, and then it will be hoofing the ball up to the forwards. That's it. So that's what we can expect. So even if they come in late, it's not a problem. All he looks for is for stronger players than he had before. So yeah, don't worry about it. Even if somebody comes in like great signing, strong player comes in on the last day of the transfer window, it's still going to work because they literally can step in and play straight away. as long as they are the character that the coach wants. Yeah, and I think that what's when Alex was talking to Ben Foster, he did say something about the character of the team and the character of the boys, and because they talk about the famous penalty save. So
which Ben also said that he still thinks about all the time, and I think why maybe he thinks about that more than and this is about a guy who played for England for the national team. And of course, he would have made tons of penalty saves back in his heyday. But I think just what he got onto with the Wrexham squad in that, and what we saw when they were in the National League, this is what we're talking about here, is just how good it was, because it was a great vibe. And we go back to what we said in the first season of Welcome to Wrexham. It was raw, it was brand new, and just all those guys that got on board, they really had something special. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I gotta be honest. I still think about that penalty save. Like, to me, just like I said, that not county game.
Yep.
It's probably the pinnacle of my football spectatorship experience.
They had everything.
It was like, I don't think I will ever be able to top that feeling, like, of last minute penalty save, come back from behind, all that good stuff. Yeah. So he spoke about the penalty save. He says that he still thinks about it every day. I think he is famous for that penalty save more than he is famous for everything else he'd done.
I think so,
including playing for English international.
If I saw a guy, we'll go back to the UK and I see a guy wearing a T-shirt with making that save on it, I wouldn't be surprised. Because it is that. Yeah, it was famous. It was definitely, when we talk in hockey about highlight reels, it was the biggest one, I think, of his career. Yeah.
Okay, what else did you guys talk about? Sorry.
Intuition.
Alex's workplace keeps us on our toes. Sure.
Lovely weather we have here.
Oh yeah, beautiful. This is your typical Queenstown winter day. Yeah,
not too much snow.
Not much snow, but nice weather. Can't complain. Yeah.
Anyway, back to the show.
Yeah.
So oh goodness. So you said talking about the squad, talking about like where he is now. Of course, talking about golf is his big passion there. And then we talked about his thoughts on tonight's game.
Yeah.
Of course, which I think was the big one to kind of ask, and the reason why I thought it was all kind of leading up to that point, right? So this is what do you reckon, Ben? Says like Wellington Phoenix, they're not one of the best teams in the A-League, but they've got some good players, as we'll talk about the new signing, Kakache, which of course, like you got to think to yourself, like if players like that are coming to Wrexham, then you've got to think, like, obviously the A-League has got some talent in it, and Wellington Phoenix has got some talent in it as well. So, like, of course, is it going to be a tight game? 100%. Who's got home advantage? The Phoenix do. Wrexham have obviously got some new players that have just come through the front door, so we're going to have a look to see kind of how they're introduced into the squad. We're without Ollie Rathbone. There's a couple of others. Maybe he'll be resting.
Merritt had his appendix removed just a couple of days ago, so he's out. Like, striker, they playing for not quit. Like he's like a pest. It's just hold on with his teeth to his bench. Like
he's not a good. Like, he might be a good enough player to play against the A-League.
Oh
Where what you've got to know and what you might see is, like, he dropped Mullen, and Mullen was light years way better than Palmer in every way.
The whole situation with Mullen, and actually with Mullen and Marriott, I think I've been saying that over and over again. That will come back to bite everybody involved in the butt. In the butt. The only thing is that I think Marriott is quite safe in there, because I think the chivalry that the guy showed in that case was amazing. But everything else was absolutely ugly about that whole situation.
Well, I mean, yeah, like it just goes to show like the ineptitude of management that Parky showed in that situation. And what I mean by that is the fact that he chose Mullen. Of course he would, because he is the star, right? You know, like Mullen puts bums in seats, but Marriott was hot. And when he got dropped and he put Mullen back in, who then goes on to fizzle out. It wasn't really like an injury. Like, I know he was injured, but he kind of fizzled out. And then Marriott's his confidence.
He got injured.
He
broke his leg, literally. Yeah.
Which is it's one of those parts. Yeah, it is, because he like doubt sets in, and as soon as that happens, then like he comes and he does something silly.
It's all about this. Yeah. Well,
and poor guy, because he was the upcoming star, and Parky kind of ruined that chance for it. So yeah,
Marriott could have been right now rolling into the championship hot.
Yep.
He could have been the new championship striker, effectively. At least getting a chance. And now he's probably not even going to play.
That's right.
Or play very little. So it's like it blows my mind how everybody just closes their eyes and like, okay, we're gonna ignore this. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely.
It was tough to watch.
Yeah, and especially like talking from experience, coached, played, and like understanding the dressing room dynamics. I take my hat off to Marriott. What a gentleman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and
he's very humbly taken what's happened, because a lot of other people, like, in that position, Marriott's got skill. He could have easily gone to a bigger team at the time.
Especially with the momentum,
Yeah, because he's young as well, right? So, relatively young. Yeah, young for Wrexham.
Young for me. Okay, no, look, going back to Ben Foster. You guys spoke about Robin Ryan, you spoke about golf, you spoke about Ola Rathbone. What else was touched on? Apart from you being,
no, I didn't get a word about it.
Apart from being starstruck, a little bit.
Yeah, well, so we kind of just, I think about Queenstown, I think was the last kind of bit of that conversation. Just saying like, what did you get up to? Say about being back. Obviously, he loved the area. He did say that he just went and did some touristy stuff, which of course, why wouldn't you?
So he jumped off the bridge.
Yeah, I believe he did.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Good.
Yeah. And I think he said just trying to, I think it was literally a couple of days. And of course, for any of you guys that know this area, a couple of days is nothing. Like, there's just so much to do and see here.
You need weeks, months.
Yeah, you really do, to kind of get around everything. It's like, you can do it in, was it the tourist 48-hour jibe, which
that's like galloping around. You will be, your sweaty butt will be on fire trying to cover everything.
As long as you say, maybe even like have a look at some of the surrounding areas that we have in Queenstown, get out on the lake. I doubt he would have been doing anything too extreme with an injury. But you know what, the fact that he was here, and the fact that he was just that presence in the area was just brilliant.
But the humbleness and the intermission.
Right.
Oh wow!
Plane shadow.
That is a Virgin Australia. So that's probably going to Sydney.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yep. So they actually could have flown directly from Sydney to here. Yep. So the humbleness of the guy, the ability of the guy to just dedicate his time to talk to somebody absolutely like new and stranger, and it's amazing. And there is something about Ben Foster that I absolutely fell in love with. He's like, you obviously experienced now talking to him directly, but I think not too many footballers are like him.
Absolutely not. Especially guys who played for the national team, who have
millionaires, effectively.
Of course, it's the guys that like they make it, and they get the media's in their face. By the way, which that guy's had. That guy's seen it all. Like I said, he was a national team player. Like, he's played in some big profile teams.
Yep.
He's done it all. But the fact that he stayed humble through it is something that very few have said it. And I wish there was many more people like that out there. I have met a few of the Burnley players back in the day. Robbie Blake, who was one of my kind of heroes at the time. Like I did actually have a chance to, unfortunately, not have a beer again. I'm going to stop asking guys to have a beer with me. Maybe because they're the wrong way.
Yeah.
But it definitely just cool to see guys who are humble and just human beings.
Yeah,
that's who they are. Like nothing else went to their head. Yeah. So yeah, keep going, guys, and yeah.
Let's talk about Liberato Cacace, the Wellington guy. I think he's first generation Kiwi, born from Italian family. When I was coaching up north, just after I got out of the army, working for one of the sort of local smaller clubs, we had Wellington Phoenix Academy coming in, and we had people going in for trials, and there was talk about Cacace back then. And he's definitely one of the best products of Wellington Phoenix Academy that's ever existed. So it's a very good signing. The only thing is, for you guys who are watching this, he always played combinational football. So his role, he's a very universal player. He can play pretty much almost everywhere. He's got a very strong left foot. But he is not, he had never, from my experience, from my understanding, from my knowledge, he had never played hoofball style ball, like parky ball. So that would be interesting to see what he's going to do and how Parky is going to use him. And he better use him instead of sitting him on the bench like Parky does it every now and then. But again, being a main signing, paid record fee for him, you can expect him to play almost straight away.
I think so. Like, a guy of this caliber, he's talked about he's going to be a good fit, especially in that kind of left back wing kind of position.
He's competing with Maka now, so it's like a captain.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe he'll change it around a little bit.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to use him in midfield, left of that triangle. Because he played in that role too. Yeah. He can play in D. He can play left back. I think he can even play center back.
Yep.
Like I've seen him play. Like, and in Wellington Phoenix, he was definitely one of the players that stood out. And I remember talking to the guys who were on trial and who worked around the sort of football circles of the time. And he was definitely a big word in everybody's mouth. Yeah, he's a strong player, but again, he comes in Italy. He played combinational football too, and if you look at his highlights, I briefly had a look. Every time he either makes a defensive committed action or he moves forward, hardly ever he lets the ball go. He makes the pass over maybe 5-10 yards, so he's not a long ball player. So.
It'd be interesting to see how he's going to fit into Parky's tactics. Yeah. I mean, there's one comment that I made to Ivan before is like, maybe if he is bringing guys like this, is there by chance that he is going to try something new? Like, and it's not something we've seen so far, but we've got to maybe start understanding.
I will be so freaking man. Honestly, I will.
It's what we want. It's what Ivan wants. It's what he's been waiting for as well. But like, as we see what the upper level of the championship and the majority of the Premier League is tiki-taka football.
I'll give you right.
It's not what Wrexham is.
Alex is from Scotland, right? So he loves his whiskey. If Parky starts playing combination football, we don't see this disgusting football anymore. We will go into the most expensive liquor store in town, and I will buy Alex the most expensive bottle of whiskey. Okay, if that happens, like, you have my word.
Well,
if that happens, make sure you call Parky. So my take right now, from what I've seen in the preseason, there is no indication of any kind of combinational style coming in. If anything, it's going to be extra defensive with hard defensive work, tight defensive shape, and then the first chance they get, they're going to hoof the ball to the strikers. That's it. That's all you're going to see, guys, all year, honestly. And
that's not what you want to see.
It's a pain. It's a pain. But look,
the biggest thing about the championship. Now, I've grown up watching the championship. Well, it's been around since 2007, 2008, when the championship came in. Yeah. So now, again, I'll go back to that. I'm a Burnley supporter or a Burnley follower. Now they've gone from League One to Championship to Premier League to Championship 9,000 times, probably in that order. The Championship is very tough league. It's an exciting league because it's real football. It's not your multi-billion-dollar teams in there.
Some of them are.
They are now. The fact that we've had some Premier League. Look at Leicester City.
Yeah.
Look at Leicester City. Great that Jamie Vardy's still playing, but they have spent
Not anymore.
hundreds of millions. Yeah, and they lost money. They have lost money now. Of course they will. That's the way.
Jamie Vardy is not playing anymore.
Is he gone now?
He is.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Why would you stay? Was he free transfer?
I'm not sure where he gone, but he left Leicester.
Yeah. And how many years did he?
Because everybody connected Wrexham to Vardy as a.
Of course. How many? Would be things that we see, Vardy might be the guy, he's the guy. No, he's not. Don't get another guy who's another Stephen Fletcher,
But Stephen Fletcher was great for the team, though.
Of course he was, But what I'm saying is, you can't have guys like that who are going to stick around for very long or can play a whole season. That was Stephen Fletcher. Now, in fact, if you didn't have Stephen Fletcher,
you're not promoted.
You weren't promoted because he scored the majority of those kind of last minute goals.
Clutch goals.
Clutch goals. Yeah. And oh man, I take my hat off, being a fellow Scotsman to Mr. Fletcher, he did wonders.
What you mean to say is don't get another 15, 20-minute guy. Yeah.
And what are those guys? They're guys in their mid-30s, right?
Yeah.
Which I think it worked well for Wrexham. Of course it worked well because League One, you kind of say, well, it was not much better than League Two. We saw that. I actually was a bit disappointed with League One.
To be honest, this was one of the weakest League Ones in history.
It was tough. It was very tough.
It was that league, and Wrexham got so lucky on so many occasions. But luck is luck, and you got to take it. Yeah.
At the same time, they did also hold their own, and they still maybe worked out some stuff, which I hope that they can bring forward to the Championship. Now, back to the Championship. It's full of ex-Premier League teams.
Yep.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah. Now, their first game of the season is against Southampton, who, by the way, hey, Carol.
Carol, Hunter, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, no, we're just chatting. I don't know when you
positive.
Yeah, when you joined us, but we're just chatting about Ben Foster being in Queenstown, and Alex had a good conversation with him, and touching on some other things like a new signing, being a Kiwi as well. So Kiwi.elements coming into Wrexham.
Yeah, which what a better time, a Kiwi jumping on board at the same time as Wrexham in New Zealand.
I was surprised to find out that Kakachi is not going to be the first Kiwi guy to play on Wrexham.
Yeah.
I read somebody posted an X this morning. There was somebody back in 2005 or 2006, something like that. There was a guy playing in Wrexham who was from New Zealand.
Well, hey, you never know that maybe in 2-3 years' time, speaking of 30-year-olds, we might get Chris Wood.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, but talking about New Zealand talent, it's there. Wrexham's found it, and I think this guy is going to make a massive, tying in what we're saying about Parky's hoofball or whatever. He's going to go strong defense, and if he does, then it might actually be a pretty damn good kind of way going into the Championship, because we're talking about ex-Premier League strikers going to be taking a ton of shots. It's not like I think what we saw last season in League One was, against those upper league teams, when, like Birmingham City, by the way, who thrashed Wrexham on one of the occasions.
Yeah.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
That's a normal game for the Championship, yeah.
Back to Wrexham's first game, it's against Southampton, who have just been relegated from the Premier League. They're going to be angry. They're going to be,
Granted, they were dog shit in the Premiership. Yeah.
Now, but that's the issue with what we're talking about, the Premier League, right? You've got, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 teams in the Premier League which they just can't make it in there because of the pay disparity of how much they're paying.
The gap is too big. But look, like you said, Championship is an exciting league. It's competitive.
It's the best league in the world. Yeah, in my mind, it's the best league in the world.
On the same page. And it's not like we premeditated that. No, we're on the same page. It's the best league in the world, and there's no shame. And next year, like I said before, I don't know if you watched me talking on the show before, survive, B, try to keep the manager for the entire season.
Yeah.
Because Championship is famous for that. Coach carousel.
Yep.
They rotate them.
Well, this is where it starts. Like, the Premier League is obviously the worst, but the Championship, and that's, by the way, where Parky with Southampton or Sunderland.
He was with. So first he was with Bolton.
Oh, who did he not finish the season with?
No, was it Bolton? No, it wasn't Bolton. Oh man, he never finished the season, I think, with anybody. But he was with Sunderland.
Yeah.
Yes, that was Sunderland. He oh man, Bolton. I think Bolton he took up to the Championship and then just managed to survive. So yeah, but again, people say that back then the Parky didn't have the resources, the players, and whatnot. Like, fine, that's cool. That's a valid argument.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying give him everybody, because this time around that guy has no excuses. I want to see his best, and I do really want him to hold the team in the Championship.
Yep.
I don't expect miracles. Just freaking stay up. That's it. That's it. Stay up. Do it as ugly as you want to do it. Because if he is gone within a few months of the season, the team that he is selected right now, it will not be suitable for a quick transition to anything modern.
No.
It will be stuck in that sort of limbo.
Yep.
So just stay for the season, and then we can deal with that in the interim.
Absolutely.
If he manages to do better, so be it. Awesome, amazing. We'll be super happy.
Yep.
But promoting to the Premier League, no, not yet. The infrastructure is not there, and I understand that they talk about somebody said. Somebody said that that's a good money making strategy. You going up, get the parachute payment, go down.
Yeah.
But I don't think at this stage Wrexham will be even allowed to play in the Premier League, because they don't tick the boxes on so many criteria.
Yeah, I believe that the academy's got to be worthy. The fact that they're going into the Championship with the smallest amount of seats for attendance, so 10,000, I believe, was the number, which is just, it is what it is. I know that there's talk, obviously, of a new stadium, which hopefully we'll see soon. But why rush it into the Premier League? It's not gonna grow the academy, the youth team. It's just not good. Now, of course, I made a similar comment actually about going from League One into the Championship, but I realized how poor is, I think, the word to say, on a financial poor, the League One is. There's just nothing in it. It does nothing for your team. But the Championship is different. You can get some. I know Wrexham have done great sponsors. They've obviously got Robin Ryan, who, which are the biggest, piggy bank that they need.
And now they have the New York family. I forgot the last name. They have the family of multi-billionaires as well. And there will be more coming in. They will need money. They will need a lot of money. Yeah. And Will and Bo, that's a very good way to put it. Scrimmage for cash. Yeah. The preseason tour. Yeah, scrimmage for cash. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with you there. I think maybe part of it was because they do have a fan base down here. Is it enough just for the fan base? No. Yeah. So I do agree with your comment. They really are going to struggle. Maybe they struggle to play against the Uniteds and Chelseas again. Maybe they just weren't interested anymore. I think they would struggle.
It's a cash cow.
Of course it is.
They came here.
Of course, they're a brand now, right? Yeah.
They came here to there are souls out there who are roaming around, willing to pay big money for kits, hats, all this other stuff. They will take it gladly.
So, by the way, we
and good on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to break down in costs, because we looked into tickets to go up to Wellington. So, just for an average seat in the bleacher, up in the nosebleeds, was 150 New Zealand dollars, which is £75. That's a lot of money for a friendly game against an A-League team. And then, of course, all your way up to your VIP tickets, which I think were in excess of about £500 or $1,000.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money for for a friendly, as we said. That's just, I don't think it's acceptable really for what they need. It's if you're a multi-million-dollar team and you just want to come down to appreciate your fans,
hold it. You want another beer?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna go get another beer. Alex, carry on. I'll be right back.
Yeah. No, good. Yeah. So just kind of going back on about like for the prices of what you see in the championship, for example, like a season pass is going to be I don't know, maybe £300 to £400. Maybe something a little bit more. But the point is, like, for your for getting into a country like New Zealand, who this is not the biggest sport in New Zealand. Like, we obviously know that rugby is obviously going to always be there, but $150 is what you pay to go and see an All Blacks game. It's not what you're going to see to play a friendly. And so basically, guys, it's not really something what we want to be. Anyway, so back to the championship. We realized that there's a big challenge ahead. Definitely some of those teams that have just come down. We're going to see, is it Ipswich, Southampton? I can't remember who the other one is. Like, I looked at the first 5 games for Wrexham, and they honestly are going to be very tough. So we're obviously going to hopefully see some draws to start off with, because if we see what we saw at the start of League One, which was 5-0, I think was again in the Birmingham game, in their first 5 lineup, it's going to be really tough. So I'm really hoping that we, I say we as in Wrexham, definitely make some good changes. They've got the goalie coming in from Leicester as well. He's definitely going to be something new to what Okonkwo was. So not quite too sure to see how he's going to kind of survive under the pressure. It looks to me like the defense is going to be a lot tighter. But what Wrexham really need to do is make sure that they are they're playing that midfield, which Ivan doesn't believe. Like, he obviously keeps talking about hoofball and the rest of it, and I get that. That's kind of what Parky's always kind of leaned towards. But the thing is, the championship will not allow Wrexham to keep playing that, because they'll get punished for it. So I have to try something new. And with our new kind of additions, I'm really hoping that they introduce some pace. The young Kiwi guy, like, he's word young. Like, we actually have some young defenders. We looked at the likes of, cheers, brother. Yeah, cheers. Sure. We looked at Boyle and a few other kind of guys, Boyle and Fletcher on the way out. Like, they did well for what they did, but they were slow, and the championship is not slow. It is definitely something. It is definitely something which Wrexham have never seen before. Now, I don't know how many people watched last year's friendlies against United and Chelsea, but you would have seen like how fast those games were. And what I saw was actually a Wrexham play very fast. Like, they actually had no choice but to start playing their defense. Their midfield, and holding their structure. Now, that to me is maybe a reason why I think the Rose family. Yeah,
the Rose family. And Alex, did you say that kicking the ball downfield will work for the new league? No. Did he just say that kicking ball downfield will work in the new league? Who said that?
No, it won't work. I don't know if it was maybe what me or Ivan was saying, but I was just saying what I was just touching on there was about the fact that they won't be allowed to do it. Like, the championship will make them play in midfield. Like, we have Wrexham can play in midfield. I have seen it. Like, but it's very rare that they've been able to do it
against the weaker teams.
I think it's actually against the stronger teams, because
Okay, let's unpack that. In League 2 or League 1? What do you
in League 1? So, for example, when we go back to like the Birmingham game, what I was touching on just while you were replenishing was about the last year's friendly games against. Was that last year or the year before, the United and Chelsea?
That was last year when William got injured.
That's right. Yeah. When
the year before, because the year before.
What was last year?
Last year they went to
America.
America again, so they went the second time. I think so. and they played what they played Whitecaps, they played Bournemouth, they played.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the first tour when Mullen got.
So I'm a year out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So yeah, but point being is what I was just discussing was I have seen Wrexham play in midfield, and they are capable of doing it. Like we do actually have some talent in the midfield. Your issue is going to be is going out for the first 5 games and playing hoofball and losing, getting destroyed in 5 games. Like that is just it's not going to sit well for Parky. It's not going to sit well for the guys. They're going to be forced to do something new.
Well, that's what's the next question is how many more players does Wrexham need? So let's say we so far.
I don't think they need. This is the thing. I don't think they need a new squad. I actually think who they have inside the squad right now is enough to do well. What they need is a different style of football.
So I kind of agree and disagree with you on that one. That's why I was pretty much honking my horn through the entire time of League 2 and League 1. I understand that the way we got us out of the National League. The National League is the kind of league that whatever it takes, just get out of there. That's fine. But you need to prepare yourself for promotions, especially for the championship. And that's what I was saying is like you are winning the wrong way because you will get through superior players, you will get promoted out of League 2. You will get promoted out of League 1. Championship will not allow that. So right now, my position, if we need new players, we do need them for playing the way Parky does. And to be honest, we need another 4 or 5 players, starters, easily. Because the only way we can compete with other teams is that if we have either superior or equal players in almost every position. And that's the only way we can hold our own and not getting thrashed every game.
So then let's unpack what you were saying there about these 4 or 5 new players. Now let's maybe just kind of touch on who Wrexham are bringing in right now, which has kind of been the going trend, kind of. Like, now we have seen some superstars come through.
Okay, so Hardy, right? Scots. Scotman.
Is it the Dundee fella?
No, he came in from Plymouth.
Oh, that's the Plymouth guy.
Plymouth. So he relegated team. So he picked up a team. He picked up a player from a relegated team.
Championship going down to League 1.
Yes. Kakache. League Serie A going to Serie B. Picked up that guy. The new goalkeeper, Ward
from Leicester.
Again, the guy who was underutilized, and some people actually really hate him. Picked up that guy. There is a couple more names floating around, but I don't want to discuss them because if it happens, it happens. Talking about rumors, I don't want to be. But we're signing people from relegated teams. So far, from what I'm seeing,
this is who they're targeting.
We are building a survival squad. There is no. If I knew that through League 2 and League 1, we were building that very comprehensive, multi-dimensional, universal, adjustable, mendable style of combinational play, then yes, I agree with you. Keep the guys that you already have, the core of the team. They already gelled, they know what they're doing, but they don't. Like we have that anybody can come in and kick the football. Anybody can do it. And that's what I mean. Like, if you guys are worried about us signing people late, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The way that we play, you don't need to be signed in 2 months in advance. You will catch the gist of what we're doing within about 5 minutes. Like, literally.
Well, I want to find a way to try and disagree with you, but unfortunately, from what we have seen, because this is not our first season watching Wrexham now, this is we're into our 4th. So this is 4th season. It's 4 years down the line now. You start to see trends, and unfortunately, Ivan does have a bit of a point that Parky leaves it late in this to the close the season. How close to the start of the season before we see signings like Kakejo? 1-2 weeks.
Like literally less than
like, if you're serious about building a squad, look at your Premier League teams. Now, of course, obviously the negotiations are tougher when you come to £50 million plus. But for a couple of £1 million, which obviously is, I want to say, pocket money for Rob and Ryan. Why are you not bringing these guys in way before the friendly games? Like, why are you not trying to integrate a proper structure into your squad.
Because there is nothing to integrate.
I'm thinking the same. So, stack your defense. Oh yes, intermission. Brought to you by such beers as Stella Artois.
The sponsorship opportunities are open. Yeah, and that's coming from, because Alex coached, I coached on different levels, but we did and played other teams. Other sports. If you have a complex structure to introduce the player to, a few weeks is not enough. It's just like you will spend more in the classroom learning the ropes than you will on the pitch. So everything right now points towards more of the same, more of Plan A.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So here we are.
Yep.
Tonight's game. Let's see how tonight's game goes. Predictions. I think it's going to be a Wrexham win. I do. I don't think it's going to be a thrashing. So that the opening of the tour was a 3-0 win.
After they lost to
Melbourne. Yes, it was. They beat Melbourne, lost Sydney.
Melbourne game was absolute dog shit. I'm sorry to say. Like, the level was just...
Melbourne City are not a strong team.
Yeah, I was looking at the game and they got the, like, again, the way the Wrexham played, they did not, like, I did not see any seeds of the new system. No. I saw winging, I saw situational thinking, I saw tactical moves. There was no operational level thinking. I'm not even going to touch on strategic. Who's saying, Will, are you saying 2-1 to who? So month for a team to gel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So if you bringing in new players with a complex, relatively complex system in mind, you need months for players to gel. That's what I mean. Survive the season.
Yeah.
Don't change the coach. And next interim, in between the seasons, we can take care of that. Somebody keeps them joining and leaving. I think every time they join, they want to hear Wrexham, Parky, yes. Oh my God, give me more. And they hear something else and they just like disconnect. Like, no. I can see that all the time. Yeah.
To your point there about months for a team to gel. Look at Chelsea, right? So they spent God knows how much. They brought in literally the biggest squad. And they kept filtering through all those players. And this wasn't recently. This was about 2 years ago they did it. Now, the last 2 seasons that Chelsea have had, if you follow them, have been absolutely dog shit. But look at where they are now. They've actually got some guys. Now, bear in mind, I don't want to try and condescend, but they have got some kind of new guys who have just come in and made an instant impact. But their main structure is now what's kind of holding them together. And they, I believe, will be the guys competing for the next Premier League title.
I give zero fucks about Premier League, so I cannot even support this conversation.
No. But the point is about how long it takes for a team to gel. Now, okay, so let's go back to Wrexham, right? So Wrexham do have they've got their core, right? Which we always kind of knew that they were going to keep. You know, your McLeans and the rest, right?
Yeah,
they're the guys that are the backbone, and we missed them when they were out for injury. You could see, in League One, when they were injured, and it just kind of all fell apart for a wee bit there. You need those guys, and these new guys coming in will, they'll toe the line. They'll kind of get into the.
I think what Will is asking right now is that he's thinking about, okay, so in the objective world, how long does it take for a player to get into the system? And we see late signings right now, and people might ask, is that enough time?
Yeah.
For somebody, for a coach who relies on more than just football, not enough time, definitely. Full stop, period, and end of story. For a player to learn the system, a couple of months at least.
Yeah.
At least, and that's a lot of work, and that's if the player is switched on.
Yeah.
With Parky, he relies on the individual qualities of the player. So hard work, keeping defensive shape, not too much lateral movement, keep it north-south, nice and easy. What we have right now is an opportunity for the team to cement itself in the championship. Doesn't matter which way, as long as they stay in, and then further on develop from there. the likes of signings like Kakashi, for example, who has played combinational short pass football through his life, is a great thing, because when time comes, he will be able to adapt to the next style, unless he outperforms everybody and Wrexham underachieves, and then we have to sell him, because he will be pretty much in a shop window right now, promoting himself to bigger clubs. So, but then again, there will be an opportunity for Wrexham to make some good money. So yeah, either or. All we want right now is that survival season. If we, again, I say it all the time, if we do better than survival, excellent, great, awesome. The prediction for tonight's game, after a loss to 17-year-old boys in Sydney. I know it's preseason. I know nobody cares about this war. It's just a run around. I understand all that, and they're playing under immense physical load, so legs are heavy. I get it. Been there, done that. Still, score matters, and whether you win or lose doesn't matter. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. For a competitive player, for a football player, for any other player, team player, it doesn't matter. It actually, to be honest, again, in the end of the day, it matters the most. If you win, you're happy. If you lose, it doesn't matter when or what. They freaking get competitive playing darts and ping pong in the dressing room. So Wrexham has to win tonight, and it will be good for troops' morale. So my prediction will be 3-1. 3-1 Wrexham. Yep, 2-1 Wrexham will. I hear you. Yeah, 2-1, 3-1 sounds realistic. I will expect Phoenix to score at least one, to be honest. And look, it's not they are not the best team. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna cover. Here we go. All right, and we have one more viewer who has just joined us. Show yourself. Tell us who you are. Alex, do you have anything else to add to what's going on?
Yeah, so just saying, just kind of recapping on tonight's game. I'm looking forward to it, just because it is it's that kind of it's tying in New Zealand and Wrexham to our kind of lives and that. So
can you unlock your phone because I need to call Yelena, my wife. She's calling me. Something had happened.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, so guys, I just wanted to lastly kind of touch on tonight's game, which is starting in a few hours. I think it'd be really good to see kind of these new players, kind of what they're going to be doing. I think, Phoenix they're not going to be a tough opponent. So if you are in favor of Wrexham winning, then you're with me. I believe that's going to be the case as well. What I'm hoping not to see is another injury, because these friendlies so close to a season starting, it's not good. You shouldn't be doing friendlies a week out before a season starting, especially when you don't have that many players on your A team. The issue with that is that we've already lost Rathbone. Hopefully he's back in a few weeks, but maybe that's already one. How many more players will we might lose? In the first couple you've got to understand as well, these are high impact, high intensity games in the championship. So, your B team needs to be as good as your A team. You literally need to be ready for all, the cup games, everything like that is going to be quite a lot going on. So tonight's game, yeah, let's just hope it's a cruisy win. No injuries, and the fact that they're just working on maybe some looser play. We don't need to see, as Ivan keeps calling it, hoofball. Let's see them try to work through the midfield as best as possible. Phoenix do play sloppy football. I've seen it in the past. It's not going to be. It's not going to force them to play, high press football, because I think Wrexham should be able to hold it in Phoenix's half quite easy. I don't think they're going to be in too much danger. but they just need to work on getting those reserves out to play as well. Maybe, you know, don't let those guys shy away on the bench. You know, like it'd be. So I haven't seen the lineup, but it would be good to see. You know, definitely at halftime, him start to, you know, like work his way through the players and getting.
Sorry. Well, you're playing against Wellington Phoenix. Even Palmer can score against Phoenix.
So what was the comment?
I don't know how many goals. If we have 3 goals in Wrexham, I mean,
yeah.
We're not playing.
So they scored 3 goals against Melbourne City. I believe it was 3-0 in the game. Like,
Guys, A league level
Yeah.
is National League.
Yeah.
/ League 2. That's what it is. So it doesn't take much to score.
No. Yeah, and look, you know, as I said, it's not about scoring lots of goals. It's just about, well, I was just saying there, it's about keeping everyone fit and healthy.
Yeah.
Is the most important bit. Was I was just saying before about the fact that we've already lost Rathbone in a friendly. We don't want to be losing any more players 1 week out,
Alex,
2 weeks
on
out.
that,
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about what do you make of the absolute plague of injuries we had over the last couple of years? There is so many injuries in the team.
Of course.
What is happening? What is going? Why?
Well, I meant for those of you who followed Wrexham, you would have seen is because it's called being played too much. It's because like if you don't get rested properly,
team needs to be able to rotate the players. Every now and then.
And there's a comment I made just before while you're away. It was about your A and your B team need to be not precise, but
Comparable.
they need to be comparable in the sense that you need to rotate the players out. Wrexham does not do that. They will play the same players through and through, and it just burns them out.
Okay, so that's preseason right now. We have injury on top of injury on top of injury. What's going on? Why do it again? It's the same trend continues. We have injuries galore, nonstop. What is happening?
Well, you know, you've got to consider the fact that we have older players as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one consideration to take into it. The amount of games as well.
Okay.
You shouldn't be playing. This is one thing I said as well. You shouldn't be playing friendly games so close to the start of a season.
Okay.
There are a lot more games in a season than there used to be, in the sense that not just the season is in the League One or the Championship, like League Cup games. You know, in the Championship, you're going to have the Carabao Cup?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have the FA Cup. I don't know if the FA Trophy is something you bother with, which I know Wrexham was obviously they got through to the semi-finals or the finals on the last one there against.
Can I share my opinion why we have injuries on top of injuries? Apart from sometimes it just gets that, you know, every team has injuries.
Go on.
Injuries are a direct consequence of a style of play. If you play defensive, aggressive football, which is designed to play bone to bone all the time,
style football,
designated to purely go aggressively mano mano instead of playing a tactical go around them kind of situation, or not directly trying to take the ball off the player, but pushing them out and shaping the opposition to a certain way. The way we play everything from A to Z promotes injuries. Psyche, the state of the people, the state of the players, the pressure, because they know that if they don't perform individually, there is no system, there is no structure to pick them up. They have to perform on top of their game every game. It's not to say that when you're playing other styles, you don't have to, but when you play a certain way, you know that if you're not going to have a good game, everything falls apart. You know how sometimes you would play on the team when you know that, okay, I'm not having my best game, but the way we play, the setup, the system carries me through. We don't have that.
You know what I saw actually? And if anyone followed the season in League One last year, what you would have seen is a lot of coming from behind games. You know, 1-0 down or 2-1 down and having to press hard. Now your Stephen Fletcher's obviously took care of that, which was great, but your defenders paid the price.
Yes.
So I'm starting to understand kind of the relevancy of what you were just saying there, that you start to play desperately. Now you're already playing strong defense. That's where injuries can really come in, because you're making sporadic plays a lot, and you get that because you're not keeping the ball in the midfield. Like, you're not being able to press all the time because you're constantly sitting back on the ball, and that's just
What you about the sporadic plays, like what you just sort of said, is that with Wrexham through the entire time of in League 2, League 1, and now into the Championship, what I see is we have tactical game plan, and we play tactically quite well, being challenging for every ball in our half of the field, our third of the field, right? So sitting quite compact in defense, meeting every player with a good level of intensity and resistance. We like to pounce on the opportunity tactically to cause a turnover. That's why quite often we're quite happy to give the ball away, and the possession stats show that. And then we try to cause a turnover closer to the opposition third. Strategically, we have a plan playing a defensive, almost hoofball counter-attacking style, where we bypass the midfield, relying on the quick opportunity to punish the opposition teams for their mistakes, right? We don't have operational level of thinking. So that's talking from my military background. We have tactical, situational thinking. We have strategical, the general overarching picture of what we're trying to do. What the giant piece that is missing is operational. An operational part of any business, any maneuvers, any kind of activity. If you miss the operational part of things, that's something that will cause a lot of damage to your personnel, because your logistical supply suffers, which is being supplied from midfield and defense to the strikers, reliable, constant, consistent, something that you can actually develop on and plan on in advance. We don't have that. We have opportunities. Injuries, in injury management, that is provided by a solid operational plan. We don't have that. So right now, I actually managed to explain to myself, and hopefully to you guys, and to you, Alex, that the reason why Wrexham struggles with the creative side of play is because we lack operational systems. We got tactical, we got strategic, we're missing the middle part, the connecting part, just like we're missing the midfield.
That's right.
And I don't see any signs of us fixing that.
No, and the best way to kind of see exactly what Ivan's saying there is, like, how many superstar midfielders have we signed to try and, just one in Man City's terms, how many Rodris have we signed to really be an orchestrator to get that team together in the middle?
Alex, even if we sign Rodri or any midfield superstar, the way we play, it's not going to help us.
But the thing is, like, they kind of go out and they okay. Table's loose.
He broke everything.
So I get what you're saying. Like, Parky. Okay, one minute. Sorry. Parky is not going to play in midfield. Stand by. Goodness me. You all right? I'm on a bit of an angle.
He's falling off. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Technical difficulties.
That'll be the highlight reel.
Got it.
Okay. There we go.
We only had 2 beers, so
still not enough. I can't even say it's the beer yet. Yeah. So Parky does play, as you said, it's that, like, it's the 90s style, aggressive, strong defense, wants to kind of clutching grab. Yeah, I get it. But like, there might just be that chance of a bit more midfield when they're against the stronger opponents.
You can't play midfield if you keep on bypassing it. What I see is, like, the entire layout of the hoofball long style is that on your way up the pitch, you bypass the midfield. If you play a long ball, your midfield is automatically excluded from the game. So unless we stop playing continuous long ball 90% of the time, it doesn't matter whether you have Rodri in the midfield or Zidane. or anybody else. You're not going to use them. The ball is flying over them.
But the point is, you've got an orchestrator.
And when he's going to see the ball, we have 45% possession.
But they talk to the defense. So this is the thing, right?
Okay.
Like, who in the midfield is talking to the defense? Who's standing up and just saying, "Nah, like, stop sending it over me. Pass it to me." Like,
it's supposed to be your CDM. So your fulcrum point is the CDM. Is my phone? No way.
Really?
Did it just die? Hey guys, so sorry, the phone had died. So we'll need to pause it right now. We'll be back on a bit later on. Just need to make sure that we find a place to plug in.
But the outside area on the other side is open to us.